Guys, we have a lot of shit to cover today. Don't fuck around with me. Guys, this is serious. All right, guys, this is the long-awaited... What the fuck is this on the screen for?
It's still on there.
Take it away. This is the long-awaited series. Let me actually pull up a screenshot. I'll put it on screen here for you guys. Let me find it. Also, don't you think it's fucked up that Mr. Rothwalls doesn't get invited to the COD Next anymore? So March 8th, this has been in the works. Let's get back down to reality here. That's what we're doing today. We're doing the first top 10 video. Okay. Top 10 things in a hotel.
Alright, so number 10 things that you want to find in your hotel is the bell on the counter.
No, I 100% agree with the bell pick here. But can you explain
That's
why?
not what the question
Can you explain
was.
why you wanted bell at number 10?
I wanted a bell at number 10 because I know it's not super important to your living space and your quality of life at the hotel, but you need that in the front just to give you a sense of livelihood, and there is someone that will come and help you out and get you a room if you have that bell there. It's really essential.
Yeah, I mean, you perfectly encase what I expect when I ring that bell. I mean, I'm gonna think of it. I don't remember a single time I rang the bell and they didn't show up, you know? And that kind of boils into our next point here. Coming in at number 9, guys, we have the continental breakfast. Now, you're wondering. I know exactly what you're thinking. You shut the fuck up before I mute you. Tell them what about the continental fucking breakfast.
Tell them about it.
Okay. Now, I know exactly what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, Ledoux, are you fucking stupid? It's a continental goddamn breakfast. What is there not to love? I'm gonna tell you. Half those motherfuckers close before you wake your ass up, okay? They play around. They open at 4 a.m., close at goddamn 6:30. The fuck? You cannot do that. And when they do it, that shit is stale. They leave that stuff out for weeks sometimes. It's continental for a reason, guys. Don't let that be overstated.
Oh, they're putting a hard R in reason.
They put the hard R in breakfast.
when they're ready to give you a continental breakfast, they give it to you hard.
They don't ask how you want your eggs cooked. They ask how you want your R's.
That's really going to settle us into the next point here, number 8 on the list. And that's going to be the hotel key. That is something you want to see, and you should be excited to see anytime you walk into a hotel. And I'm not talking about the card key. I'm talking about a cold, hard, house-looking key you can put in the door and open the door with. Now, this is number 8 because you don't really need a key because most hotels have the card. But when you have the key, that is going to really allow you to lock and unlock your door. I saw this stat on Impractical Jokers. I don't know the exact number. About 90% of people don't show up if they're not invited. There is still gonna be people showing up when they're not invited.
Okay. And there's actually another thing that I want you to talk about. This statistic I just threw up on screen. What does this mean?
So it actually means that sometimes you can get arrested. It's not their fault necessarily. It's the parents that raise them. I'm
gonna use that key right now. I'm gonna unlock number 7. We have the minibar. Now, yeah, you're like, this is you right the fuck now. You're like, what the hell, man? The minibar like isn't even that good. Sit your bitch ass down. Let me explain something really quick. Now, and the reason I put it at 7 is because, yeah, they overcharge you for it. We're not going to avoid that. Yeah, they do it. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat that thing at all. It happens, okay? It's fucking robbery. I don't know what to say.
I believe we're on number 6, and that's gonna be the Bible that's in the drawer sometimes. Sometimes you might be religious and you might say, man, I need to sit down and read a verse. And then you're like, but wait a second. I left my Bible at the house. Damn it. Now, if you go to that drawer next to you, you open it up and there's a Bible in there, then you're ready to go. You're ready to pray.
Yeah.
Roll that mat out, kneel towards the mosque, and do what you got to do.
All right, guys, now breaching the top 5 on our list here this evening. This one's going to tilt some heads. I'm not going to lie. I think this one, I'm going to lose some people with this one, but it has to be addressed. Okay. I'd rather be addressed here than the top 3. Okay. And coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the outlets that are always behind the goddamn furniture. And it boils down to just a few things. 1, you really need electricity. 2, I mean, they make it easy for you. It's not like you have to fucking solder shit. You just plug it in. The hard part is you gotta unbury it, okay? For some people, it's harder to move furniture than others. I mean,
once you uncork that outlet, you're really good to go. You set yourself up for a long night of sleep with the phone charged in the morning.
Exactly. So, like, it's like a double-edged sword. That's the word. It's a double-edged sword because I'm not gonna explain it. That's what it is. Fuck you.
So, number 4 on the list here, we're gonna go with that AC machine that sometimes doesn't work, and that is actually brutal and crucial for this list, because some of you might be thinking the air conditioning doesn't work all the time.
Wrong.
It does work. You just have to let it. You have to believe, and you have to let it dial in for a second. And it could be a good thing, because sometimes you might walk into the room and say, "Wow, it's a good temperature," and you might have that idiot friend who's like, "Shit, guys, it's hot in here. Let's turn the AC up." And you're like, "No," and they do it anyways. And then you wake up in the morning, it's still hot in there for them, but you're at a good temperature in your bed. The moral of the story here is you don't always want it to work, but when it does, it's most statistically, if you fill the stats up again, it's gonna be in your favor more often than not. But your friend, if you're the friend that's watching, it's not gonna be in your favor.
And it's tough because you take a look at some situations where that happens verbatim, and it's hard to watch sometimes. I mean, that only means there's 1, 2, 3 things left. But the third spot,
That's all.
hitting hard, room service. Okay, I can't say anything bad about room service, guys. They literally come in and clean up the room. It's what we all want, right? Because
Incredible.
I could turn my camera on right now, and I'll tell you, I'm looking around here, and fuck, boys, this is not good. I could use some room service.
And it begins to get hard to walk around. But when you have that room service and you can rely on them to clean your room, it's really a game changer, because then that's one thing off your plate, and you can now add more onto that plate. It's like going to a buffet and they don't have something that you don't really like, so you're not pressured anymore to put it on your plate. So now you have room to put the good stuff on your plate. So number 2, this one hits close to home. This is going to be the iron and ironing board that you get in the closet. This is actually going to be one of the more best items. That wasn't proper English, but it's going to be one of the better items on this list, which is why it's at number 2. Because sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you need to stay the night at a hotel, but you cannot miss mass the next morning. So you brought your clothes in a Kroger bag. You take your clothes out of the bag, but look, they're folded. And wait, no, they're not folded. They're all like wrinkled up. And now you're in a situation where, do you want to show up to church with wrinkled clothes, or do you want to iron them? You want to iron them. So you go pick up that iron, get the ironing board, and you are all set to go in a matter of minutes at a hotel.
Yeah, I can't even begin to explain to you guys how many times that has saved me. I mean, the amount of meetings I was almost fucking made fun of showing up with that shit straight out the dryer, left that thing in there for days, looked like a fucking tumbleweed strolling in. No, not today. Whip out that ironing board, whip out the iron itself, and holy shit, you got yourself a combo for the decades. I mean, people say, what, ketchup, hot dog, mustard, hot dog? Fuck that. Iron and ironing board. That's where that shit is. Okay?
That is one of the best duos out there, and you really cannot make that up. And the last thing I'll say about the ironing board and the iron is that's really one of the only things you need in a house. You need a bathroom, you need a TV, and you need an iron and ironing board, just so you can tell what's going around the world, and you can be prepared for any meeting or mass service of your choosing.
Keep in mind, he said mass service, not mass shooting, for all you getting those confused.
Yes.
Big difference.
Just going to mass.
Big difference. And guys, we've finally made it. Put your hands together for guys. We are at number 1. We've come through 9 other things on this top 10, guys. It's been a good episode. We're happy to do some more for you guys here in the upcoming seasons. But let's get on with it without further ado, guys. Number 1 of things in a hotel. We have, I mean, this was concise to the point, and we both agreed this should be here. It's the swimming pool, guys, including the hot tub. It has to be combined together. It's one of those things like the iron board. It just, they blend together, guys. They blend. Okay? It's like you go to a hotel, but you didn't even get in the fucking car yet to go there, right? What goes through your mind? Shit, I need a bathing suit. You don't, nothing else at the hotel. You didn't think about shit. You're thinking about, I need to bring this bathing suit because I'm going swimming. Like, it ain't, oh man, do they have a pool? Am I gonna go swimming? They have a pool. You're going swimming. Okay, that's the rule. That's the rule. It happens. I know Ja rule. It's just the rule.
Yeah, and when I get to a hotel, the first thing I think is, where's the swimming pool? Half the time, probably over half the time, I don't check where my room's at. I check where the pool's at. I'm not even concerned where my room's at until I know there's a pool there. And you really can't even stay at that hotel without a pool, because there's no reason to stay there then.
That's going to wrap it up, guys, for this top 10. Feel free to comment which one we should do next. We'll probably do another poll. It'll be out in the next 6 months or so.